revealed through the tweets from the President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump. Well, let me speak specifically to some of the imports of the tweets. One is to say there is a Christian genocide in Nigeria. And I'm sure even America knows that is not true. But it is also understandable that there are some Nigerians who are actively pushing this agenda. This is not the first time that the intelligence of the United States has failed America. It failed them in Iraq. It turned out that there was no weapon of mass destruction, and they apologized. It failed them in Libya and many other instances. So I'm sure this is another error in intelligence gathering. But beyond that, we all are Nigerians, I suppose, and we know that there are killings in Nigeria, and there are killings that should not happen. And there will not be this monthly security briefing if this government does not take it seriously. The essence of sitting down here every month is to assess how well we are doing and to allow the media, on behalf of Nigerians, to ask questions. Just recently, the same United States commended Nigeria publicly for the arrest of 2 major terrorists. We are just listening to the NFIU now, how we have been removed from the gray list. Gray list means blacklist of, of countries that are not doing enough. We have been removed, which means the international body in charge of that confirmed that we are doing well in terms of, working to ensure that terrorism financing is not allowed, So when you say what is the military doing, the military is doing a lot. And I think the media, we also need to take the issue of judicial reporting more seriously. A lot is going on in the courts that we don't often follow the stories. And those stories don't make their ways to the mainstream media. Just 2 weeks ago, I read when unfortunately I've forgotten the name of the man that was arrested as somebody who was channeling funds to, you remember the name? He's still in court. And the government refused, and is still being prosecuted. But you don't see that, in major media, you don't see that in the social media. They don't make their way. We don't emphasize all these efforts. All these things that we read out now should not be new to us. Media constantly, judicial correspondence should have taken care of all of this. So the military is doing a lot, and a country that is not working seriously on the issue of security will not take that drastic step that the president just took last week by changing the top echelons of the military, to ensure that the system is rejigged and empowered to be able to do more. The same United States lifted the sanction on the sales of weapons, and they have been selling weapons to Nigeria, and they only do that to countries that they believe is using the weapon to achieve the objective. Don't also forget there's a way that the security agencies will respond to these issues, and then you begin to answer questions for human rights violation from the same quarters. So you ask yourself sometime, between the deep blue sea and the devil, where do you go? But that is not to say there is no insecurity in the country, and there are killings. But we also must be certain of 2 things. One, the killings in the Middle Belt Trough up to southern Kaduna would happen to be more Christians because those are Christian-dominated areas. But most of those killings were not because somebody went to church. It would be because somebody is fighting over land, the issue of settlers and indigents, the issue between Tiv and Jukuns, for instance. Those are two Christian ethnic groups. And the killings have been going on forever. And the two sides are Christians. But when you talk of what is going on in Safara, Katsina, Sokoto, all the way to Niger, these are Muslim-dominated areas. So the deaths will also be more of Muslims. So what we have in this country is challenge of insecurity, of terrorists, of bandits, of kidnappers. And that's what we are responding to. That is one. Secondly, even if there is a deliberate attempt to eliminate certain religious groups in this country, where are we going to start from? There's hardly anyone here that will trace to the second cousin without finding somebody from other religion in that family. So where are you going to start from? Or perhaps we assume that if America lands here, which is not, of course, going to happen, if America lands here today, then they will ask the Christians to be pinpointing those of us that are Muslim before they shoot. That has never happened anywhere. What is going on in Palestine involves both Muslim and Christian. Churches are bombed. They just wiped out a whole Christian community in Palestine just last week. A whole community, entire Christian community. Many go and Google about it. So America should start by saving the Christians in Palestine. The Palestinians who are Christians. Start from there. Save those ones. So we must be careful in our country. There were Libyans who thought they needed external support. Now they have the Libya they wanted now. There were Syria who thought they needed external support. Now they have the Syria they wanted. There were Yemenis who thought they needed external support. Now they have the Yemen that they wanted. There were Iraqis who thought they needed external support. Now they have the Iraqis that they wanted. And in all of this, there is no one-side victim. It's all of the people that were affected and are being affected. So we must be careful. Then, just an information, there's going to be a security briefing today at the office of the NSA, where all the security agencies, and it's going to be Nigeria's official response to this issue. Thank you very much. Now, on the, okay, I just mentioned something about the beneficiaries of recoveries, which our brother from EFCC and the ICPC, our sister there, also mentioned. Yes, they emphasize the beneficiaries in terms of people who were victims, and the system assisted them. Nigeria happened to them positively and got their things back to them. But there are also institutions, including NOA, that is benefiting from the recoveries. Just last year, we benefited 25 vehicles from the EFCC, part of the recovered vehicles. Nobody's clapping. And I can tell you there are many government institutions who have offices today just because either ICPC or EFCC pass on some of these forfeited buildings to them. And that's why I said saving government critical resources. You don't have to go and build a new office. And then so you use that facility. Benue, for instance, was a very sad case. The incident that happened the other time. The president went there. It didn't end there. The police arrested over 50 people as a result of that,